So next up, I want to actually pass the floor over to Dr. James Chia, who will tell you a personal tale of his visit to one of the neediest places on earth, which is Malawi. He went there in 2012. So Dr. James is actually not a stranger to adventure, you know. Okay, so his doctorate is in civil engineering. He is a lieutenant colonel in the guards unit. That's why I say he's a rough and tough man, right? And he was also National Serviceman of the Year, 1995. One of our top leaders in New Skin, core leaders in Southeast Asia board. He took it upon himself to go and check it out personally to see what it was like on the ground in Malawi. So over to you, James.
Okay, thank you very much, Wiswan, for the introduction. Okay, to tell you the truth, I wasn't that excited about going to Malawi, you know, because there was a whole list of diseases I could catch: typhoid, malaria, yellow fever, and all that. Plus the fact that I had to pay my own way there. But you know, I'm glad I went, and let me just share with you very quickly what I discovered there. First of all, okay, this was one of the diets I had to eat. I had to, you know, these are field mice. Okay, so it was strange. But I subsequently found out that because the Chinese had such a big influence in Africa, we were staying in a Chinese hotel with Chinese food subsequently. Okay, now I want to tell you where Malawi is. Okay, so Malawi is slightly northeast of South Africa, and the feature of Malawi is one of the poorest places in the world. Now, when I went there, the life expectancy for Malawi was just off the bottom. Okay, 180 with a life expectancy of 848. Singaporeans, we are way up there. Okay, number 8, our life expectancy at that time was 81. Okay, and so this is important to share because it's important to share what nourish the children, because Singaporeans have no concept of starvation. Okay, why is life expectancy so low? Because people are not fed enough, you know, the diseases, and they die early. Okay, now fast forward. Today, Singapore, our life expectancy has gone up even more. We're number 5, and the good news is that Malawi has been pushed up. You know, I like to say from the efforts of 8 workers there. Okay, so it's now life expectancy of 65. Okay, so that's Malawi. Now, let me show you these pictures which came from the video before. Okay, this is what starving children look like. They look like that. That's why they die. Okay, and I show you these pictures because subsequently in the pictures that I show you, you'll find that children don't look like that at all. And that's because they've been fed Vitameals. Okay. Now, you know this saying, okay, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. And we know that. That's why our Chinese, we greet people, you know, Chapa, have you eaten? You know, and we have had no problems asking people to donate for food because we know what it's like not to eat. Now, this is an example of Vitameal distribution. About twice a month, okay, villagers come and congregate at a designated location to receive each family 1 bag of Vitameal. Okay, they're given tickets and they exchange it for a bag of Vitameal. Okay, this is my wife Jackie with this baby and the mother and a big huge bag of Vitameal there. That's myself there. Okay, we have big smiles. Okay, now this is a Sisters of Charity. It's a Mother Teresa orphanage actually. So on the top here, these are women. All of them are actually have got AIDS. Okay, and they, in this particular case, they walk 3 hours to get to their transport where they travel by bus, another 3 hours just to come here to get their ration of Vitameals, and then they repeat the journey back home. Here are the children actually living in the orphanage. So all these are orphans, and look at how healthy they look because they're fed on Vitameals. Okay. I say Vitameal is the cornerstone because what happens is that, you know, the Vitameal is donated, then they're distributed by a charity, Feed the Children. feed the children on their own. They raise donations from other sources, USAID, Procter and Gamble and all that. And then they combine these donations and fund actually a comprehensive program that teaches various things like hygiene, farming, land utilization, finance. Let me show you some pictures. Okay, so these villagers, they gather at community-based childcare centers where the children are fed Vitameal. And while they are there, the family volunteers are trained by other trainers, and then they go back to their villages and they teach their own other families. They're creating a multiplier effect. This is an example of they're gathering at community-based childcare centers. Here, the children are waiting to be fed. Okay, Jackie's trying her hand at feeding, cooking Vitameal. So obviously, a lot of children, these big, huge pots they cook. And then the trainer, okay, this is the trainer from Feed the Children. She's teaching these family volunteers, okay, who then go back and pass on this information. Okay, what do they learn? Okay, first of all, they learn how to purify the water which is drawn from the well and likely to disease. Okay, so they purify their water with water purification tablets. Okay, I like this. Okay, they're taught how to dry their dishes outside. Okay, now in the picture before, actually these huts, there are no windows at all, so it's pitch black. I'm using a flash here, so you can imagine if they put their pots on the floor, the mice and all this vermin are running on the floor. It's not very hygienic, so they're taught to dry the dishes outside. Okay, where it's above ground. Okay, I like this picture too. It's a rubbish pit, and it's not the rubbish pit for the community. Each family has its own rubbish pit, so that's how they maintain hygiene. Okay. This is another favorite picture. This is the combined. This is not a combined. Okay, it's a toilet here and a bath shower facility here. And this is not for the village. This is for one family. Every family has its own. And when I went there, I saw that they're taught how to use soap, okay, and water to wash their hands after using the toilet. Okay, so this is a device they made out of a canister, water canister. Now, farming, they've improved the yield of the crop. So look at that papaya. I mean, look at the papayas that they yield, because they're taught how to do proper farming. And this makes them self-sufficient, so that they not only have enough for themselves, they have enough to sell and earn an income. Okay, this is an alternative source of protein, which fish, and these are alternative sources of protein, chicken. And this fish pond is not the village fish pond. This is a fish pond for a family. Okay, every family has its own fish pond. Obviously, they've got a lot of land out there. Okay, so they're taught how to improve the yield. Now, what about land utilization? I mentioned that. Okay, so in an open fire like this, you can imagine how many trees they have to chop down every day to have this fire. So they're taught to build covered stoves, okay, which conserve the heat. They're also taught how to dry out the fruits and all that, using solar energy. Okay, so this is why Vitameal is the cornerstone, because without Vitameal, to lure the families to come and have their children fed, they would not come together to have all this education and learning. And then they go back to their villages, they spread this information, and hopefully we have more and more of Malawi being improved. Okay. So I shared with you this saying, forgive a man a fish and you feed him for a day. So for that trip down there, what I actually saw was the second part: teach a man fish and you feed him for a lifetime. And that's what I love about this program, that we're helping people to be independent and sustainable.